What's up, guys? Welcome back to Viewer Castles. Today we're going to start off with dsfafa. Castle level is an 18. Jump into it on my knight and see what he's got. Alright, so Zeke on Spread Eagle. That's something I haven't seen in a while. It's still an okay specialization, it's just been nerfed a little bit in the last, I don't know, a while ago. But since then, we really don't see it all that much. It used to be a lot quicker than it is now. Back then, Knights were actually the most overpowered class as well. I guess it wouldn't be overpowered, it was just the most popular. Now it's kind of Archers. But, you know, Spread Eagle was better against Knights because you can hit with all 3 bolts instead of just 1. Archers have a little bit easier time dodging them because, you know, they can shoot in between these attacks, right? I would, dodge through it and then I would shoot, and then dodge through it and then I would shoot, so. Whereas Knights kind of have to get up close, and you just take all 3 bolts to the face. So it got nerfed a little bit because of that. It was just really good against Knights. A lot of these, actually. This almost looks like one of those castles back before it was nerfed, as people would use them all the time. And they're still good units because, you know, it's slowly whittling me down. It's hard for me to keep my life up when I'm constantly dealing with these, even if I get health globes, but I don't think it's enough where you can actually use up someone's 4 potions by doing that. So I was barely able to see this because I didn't rotate, but I still was able to. Which I guess that's kind of what you're going for, is you're hoping someone doesn't rotate. I mean, that entire trap kind of revolves around this wall. Basically, it stays up for until you get to this point, and then maybe I already aggro it as I'm walking in, and I don't notice the trap on the ground. But if I rotate like this, I'm going to be able to see it pretty easily. I actually miss when rotating cameras wasn't in the game. I enjoyed the game more back then. I don't know, everything was more dangerous, so it felt more difficult to get through castles, I guess, and it was also fun when you could, you know, set up 3 groups all to work together with hunger bots and springboard traps. It was fun to see that in replays, I guess. But a lot of people didn't like it as attackers because you would get to the end of the castle and then you would get caught in 1 trap and then die. Which I guess I can understand. This is an interesting combo. You have the resurrecting skeletons, which I think once they get resurrected into skeletons... Oh wait, interesting, hold on. That's really cool. So, what I thought is that when they get resurrected into skeletons, they don't have their corpse anymore, so they can't resurrect themselves. But actually, what happened is the body doesn't have to be there, it still just resurrects itself at least once. So this kind of actually technically works, but you know, both abilities are, in my opinion, a little on the weak side. They're the weakest of the 3, I think, for both creatures, the specializations, but together they kind of work pretty decently. But that's only my opinion. They're pretty close now. They used to be weaker than they are now, with the damage buff and everything. Griefer has gotten a lot better, and so has the Bone Puppeteer on Raising Hell. I just like him personally as a support. I'm actually not sure if they're going to add in different specializations in open creation. I know they were talking about it, and they said they wanted to do it because people wanted it, where you can have, you know, one specialization at the start of your castle and a different one at a later stage, you know, in a different room. It's a pretty interesting idea. I hope that they do that. Or even two in the same group, one on heal, like a puppeteer on heal and a puppeteer on enrage. It would make for some interesting combos. But yeah, we'll jump into number 2 in just a second. Alright, next up we have MorbidSouls. Castle level is a 17. Jump into it on my knight.
Don't worry, treasure chest. Daddy's coming to set you free.
I probably should be ignoring the hunger bot until I killed off the healer, but whatever. I just punted him into it a couple times and it worked. So I think, personally, Zeke should never be used on this specialization. I think it doesn't make use of his damage enough. Like, if you really want those bear traps, you might as well just use them on archers, because it's, you know, only 4 points and it's basically the same stun. The only difference is the damage the trap does, but as well, the arrows that he does is a lot less as well. So, I mean, personally, I would always use... I never use bear traps anyway, at least not in a couple patches. I used to use them back when rotating cameras didn't exist, but I don't really like them anymore. Because I don't think it's highly probable that you really walk into them at any point. But yeah, I would personally switch it up if you really want to have bear traps. And if you don't want to have bear traps, then I would use one of the other 2 specializations on your Zeke, because I think it's just stronger. I mean, knights can even get around a Zeke using bear traps, and archer will never go through those traps. It'll just never happen, and a Zeke on that isn't even threatening. A Zeke on a bear trap isn't even really threatening to an archer, because it just doesn't do enough damage to really threaten it. I can dodge the one bolt that he throws out really easily, and even if it hits me, it doesn't do a ton. Squidlies, unfortunately, they have really good sounding stats when you look at them, but they're just kind of subpar. When you look at them, they actually have really high DPS in like the creature or whatever menu, but I've tried making them work a couple of times. It doesn't really seem like they have the damage that it actually says they have. I do understand it with a Dr. Skull though. That's one of the situations where it is good to use those, I guess. You know, I've used spiders for mine because I think the spider's leap has a higher chance of actually dealing damage rather than the Squidlies, but Squidlies are fine. They're better stats than like a derp or a snotter, so snotter might have a bit higher chance to actually deal damage because it's a ranged unit, but only barely. That guy attacks so fast when he's enraged, oh my god. It's disgusting. You know what I would love is for them to fix the AI on puppeteers, and it's not really broken, but it's kind of broken, like the enrage puppeteer specifically, where it will enrage the closest thing to you. I wish you could just kind of attach it, like they're using Alt to make it so that you can attach traps to a specific generator. I wish you could just attach a puppeteer to a specific creature and say, hey, enrage this, or, you know, do 2 different ones. So it's like, enrage this, if you can't get to this, enrage this, or if it's already enraged or something. Just a simple AI, a simple change in AI like that. Because right now it just enrages the closest thing on the ground, or the closest thing to the hero, and a lot of times it'll keep enraging, dead minions if they're the closest thing to the hero. But it would be really good because, I mean, attack speed buffs are really good in this game. Like, they're quite strong, but unfortunately with the AI like that, it's really hard to use it. You can only really use it on Jimbos and Pete Poundmores, because those things are going to chase the hero anyway. So they're generally going to be the closest thing to the hero. But things like Zeeks you can't really use Enraged Puppeteers on. You can only use Bad Dogs or Mittens to get the attack speed buff. Or if you use like a Defendatron plus a Zeke, sometimes the Zeke will be the closest thing, or so close that it'll stand inside of the area of effect of Enrage on the Puppeteer.
Now would be a great time.
Yeah, I'll use a potion. Well, this is really strong while the Defendatron's alive. Once it dies, everything gets cleaved pretty quickly. I'm not sure if you can spread it out anymore, like inside of the boss room. Although if you did, then it would defeat the purpose of the AoE Defendatron, so it's not bad. It's not too bad. Alright, well, that's number 2, so we will jump into number 3 in just a second. Alright, and lastly we have Bobmachtoke. Castle level's 28.
You're going to be far poorer 3 minutes from now.
Alright, so that should pull over here. I can see it coming. The Vamp, Battering Ram. I didn't see what else. Maybe an Archer? Yep, there's the Archers. So you can notice that these 2 units come way quicker than the rest of it. So what you want to do is, like, you know, time things out a little bit better. Make these things face the wall and put them farther away from where the pull is, like, starting off. And put these a little bit closer, maybe facing towards the hero, just to speed up and make everything arrive a little bit more on time. Alright, can I use this as a kind of a shield for myself? Looks like I can. Although I did pull two groups. If I can get this volley off, I'll be fine. Which, yeah, I'm able to, so that's not too bad. But yeah, I mean, I'm not sure if it's good or bad for me that that mine is there. Like, in some cases it would be bad for me because I double pull, and I'm still not used to Pete Poundmores doing as much damage as they do. But, you know, I can kind of use this as like a shield for these archers as they're coming around, and it would make them come right to this point here, and I could volley like right in here and kill all of them. But at the same time, if I get too close and too far up, I aggro the Pete Poundmore, so it's good and bad at the same time, because it kind of can force double pulls. Wow, that's a lot of damage. I don't really want to use a potion yet. I'm still like 1 room in or something. So if I can get out of using a potion here, I think I will. Which is good. Alright. I'm not really a fan of slowing traps. I don't think they work often enough to make like them worth it, I guess. Like, you noticed I didn't even get hit by one of them, so that's like 1 trap out of your castle. Where, again, like if you had something else there, like a rotating fire trap, maybe I don't get hit by that, or a spike trap, maybe I don't get hit by that. But it's possible that I take a little bit of extra damage. That could hurt, yep. But I'm still okay. Still haven't used a potion. This is a little dangerous, actually. Running on 800 means if I get hit by the wrong thing, I could die, or if I get crit or something. I probably could have died to that Zeke Bolt as well. But it can reward me by not taking any damage and getting up to half health. I don't really like Jimbo in this room because it's such a long room. Like, Jimbo's good in really tight spaces, and I mean, a ballistic trap doesn't really stop you from moving. That's more of like a rotating cannon or a spike trap's job. So I mean, I'd like it kind of in this room a little bit more, with like a spike trap on this side and, you know, a slow trap or a spike trap on the other side, to make me have to fight it in this smaller area. It means he hits a little bit more often. Yeah, there's an IMAX up there, but that's not aggroed right now, so I'm gonna wait for a second. Wait for this guy to get stunned, and I don't think he's gonna hit. I guess I hit. Alright. No health globes is kind of unfortunate though. There's one. Aggro this back here. This is a good spot for an IMAX though as well. I like the mines with the IMAX as well. It's less space for me to fight in. This is a little bit more different. Like normally I say mines aren't good for ranged units, but when it's an IMAX on this specific specialization, it means I have less space to dodge these things in. It's a little bit different. Alright, then slow traps again. Like again, I would say that slow traps here, it would be better if there was some sort of a damage dealing trap, because I can run all the way back here now and kite this for days. Which means he's never going to get anywhere close to me. There's like a Cyclops up in here somewhere. Not sure exactly where it is. I'll see if I can volley it from here though. Yeah, I'm able to pull it from here. Alright. But sometimes they get stuck on there, and that makes mines a little less good with IMAXs. And that's the issue that I have with IMAXs is right there, where if I get a really high damage crit, I can just one-shot an elite, which is almost unheard of with other elites. It's because of their resistances. The resistances are the same as a Defendatron, where like every other elite that's been in the game for a while, the resistances are higher than their like normal predecessor or whatever. Like a Mega Mutton, his resistances are higher than a Battering Ram, or a Jimbo, or Pete Poundmore, or any of those. They're quite a bit higher, and it's just something that they like haven't done yet or something. I don't know. It could be even that they are higher and the tooltip is wrong, but it doesn't seem like they're higher because they seem to take just as much damage as a Stairmaster does. Alright. So yeah, pretty good castle. You know, I'm used to level 32 castles, so when I'm attacking a 28, it's almost like it's more than 2 levels under me. It's like it's 4 levels under me, because I'm used to attacking 2 levels higher than me, so my archer has quite good gear, so even though I didn't use any potions, it's probably not because of your castle. Alright, so this is number 3, so we're going to end the video here. As always, if you guys enjoyed, please subscribe. We're not going to take any more viewer castles for right now, so unfortunately, wait for a couple of weeks until the reset comes, open creation comes, and probably right around where open beta is going to be starting up, I will start taking viewer castles requests again. But yeah, that's pretty much it, so thank you guys for watching, hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you next time.